My name is Jason Zimmerman. Some of you know me already. I'm Managing Director for Rodan West. I'll be starting out, and then we'll be having Shane, who will be joining us and talking about a few of our different solutions that we have. If you do have any questions, you can type them in the chat box, and we will address them probably after each section. So we'll do a question period after the Quinson Peak demand, and then we'll do another question period after PowerTracker. So about Rodan, we are the leading North American smart grid company. We deliver intelligent energy solutions to power producers, distributors, and large power consumers. We essentially help our customers reduce their overall total energy spend. We look for different solutions to help our customers to reduce their spend and operate more efficiently. To meet those goals, in the last few years, Rodan has acquired companies such as Energent, Midas Metering here in Alberta, Sigration, and PowerTracker. And we've now added these to our suite of different solutions that we can now offer to our customers throughout Canada and into the US as well now. So just an idea of some of the products that we do have. As mentioned, we have the PowerTracker service and software. We have peak management predictive tools, and those are the two that we're going to be talking about today. We also have an energy management information system, or an EMIS system, which does analytics and optimization. In Alberta, we're known for our metering and smart grid integration, our meter data management, and a big part of our business in Ontario is demand response. Some achievements that we've done as Rodan. So as mentioned, in 2014, Rodan acquired Midas Metering. Many of you might know of Midas Metering as it was based in Calgary and was the leading meter data management company in Alberta. In 2015, we were voted as one of Canada's top small and medium employers, and we've continued to be named that again in 2016 and again in 2017. In 2015, we acquired Energent, which at the time was one of the leading energy management information systems providers, and have now integrated that into some of our software solutions. In 2016, we acquired Sigration, which was a leading power markets information provider. Many companies in Alberta do use Sigration. It's commonly used for when you're doing trading in Ontario, but quite a few of our companies in Alberta do trade into Ontario. And then in 2016, we had Energent awarded as an emerging company of the year. So Rodan in Alberta, as I mentioned, Rodan purchased Midas Metering in 2014. That was to expand their services across Canada and ensure coverage into Western Canada. In 1999, Midas Metering was started, and I think some of you were actually at our 20-year anniversary that we had back in November 2019, and 2019, and that was probably one of the last times that many of us were actually out in public, probably. Anyways, yeah, so we're the leading metering and meter data management service provider in Alberta. We are a member of IPSA. We're a member of the Alberta Energy Efficiency Alliance, and we're members of APEGA. We were a part of the ISO capacity market design working groups, and we are a participant in the AUC Rule 21 and 28 Systems Settlement Code Industry Consultation and Alberta Metering Working Group. This is all to kind of show that we keep on top of what's going on in the province in the electricity industry, and making sure that we know everything that's going on in the industry, and we are also an active participant so as to represent our customers in each of these consultations. So these are some of the services that we do provide in Alberta. For metering system services, we do a complete engineering design. We do construction and installation of a turnkey revenue metering systems. We'll commission instrument transformers and metering systems. We do the in situ testing. We do re-verification, troubleshooting and repair. And we also have a meter system management program where we do track seals on the meters, and we track the in situ test requirements so that our customers all keep their metering system aligned with the Alberta electric system operator requirements and Measurement Canada requirements. So under meter data management, we do cumulative data management services, which is what most people do. Most residential services are cumulative, as well as from the perspective of power generation in Alberta, that's a lot of it is through cumulative as well. We also do the interval meter data management services for a lot of the generators in Alberta. On the energy intelligence side, we have our peak management predictive tools. We have our PowerTracker software as a service. And then we also have our energy management information system, which includes the analytics and optimization tools. And today we're just going to get into the peak management predictive tools and the PowerTracker software as a service. And just to give you an idea of who we work with, this is a screenshot of a lot of who our customers are here in Alberta. You'll notice that it's pretty much most of the large producers in Alberta and a lot of the large consumers as well. And with that, I will now pass it on to Shane, and he will continue the presentation.
Thanks, Jason. Just an introduction. My name is Shane Sohm, and I'm the Director of Business Development here for Rodan based in Calgary. I'm going to jump right in. The first tool we're going to talk about is our coincident peak notification tool. So we're going to start off talking about coincident peak demand. And coincident meter demand, it makes up a significant percentage of the wire charges for transmission direct connect customers. So these are DTS rate 65 for Fortis or price schedule T31 for ATCO. Customers that implement strategies to generate or shed load during peak demand periods can drastically reduce these charges. So Rodan's coincident peak demand predictive tool provides your operations team with the information they need to be prepared for the monthly peak events. So what is coincident meter demand? The ISO recovers the demand-related costs of the bulk transmission system based on the monthly coincident system peaks of the Alberta grid. So this is frequently referred to as the 12 coincident peak or the 12 CP approach. So under the coincident system peak approach, the ISO sums the meter demand for all rate DTS market participants in every 15-minute interval during a month. And then the monthly coincident system peak is the greatest sum in any 15-minute interval of the month. So rate DTS customers, when they're receiving their invoices, are going to see this information here. So along the top, you will see your highest system meter demand. So the coincident system peak in megawatts for the production month. Beside that, you will see the date. So when did that peak occur? And then beside that, we see the actual coincident meter demand. So that's the actual meter demand in megawatts for that point of delivery associated with the market participant's account during the 15-minute interval identified as the highest system meter demand. Next, we see the tariff coincident meter demand. So this again is the actual coincident meter demand less any meter demand provided under rate DOS, demand opportunity service, in megawatts during the 15-minute interval identified as the highest system meter demand. Then we see our bulk system rate, $11,085 per megawatt. And finally, we see our bulk system charge here, which for this customer was over $257,000 for that month. So factors to consider. In Alberta, weather is very important. The demand profile in Alberta is very weather dependent. So the hottest days in the summer and the coldest days in the winter are usually the peak demand days. And time of day. So a lot of our operations, largest industrial load sites in Alberta are 24 hours. So therefore the time of day has more of an effect because of the time people return to their homes and start cooking dinners and turn on lights and TVs. So the coincident meter demand charges, the current 2021 bulk rate charge in Alberta is $11,085 per megawatt per month. So this means for every 1 megawatt you can reduce your load during the coincident peak event, you can save that $11,085. So in North American markets, Rodan successfully identifies 97% of peaks accurately. So Rodan's coincident peak demand predictive tool, this is the service we're providing here, and it comes in 2 parts. So it starts with a daily report that includes daily commentary with forecasts for the day and the rest of the month, including any forecast changes. It also provides real-time monitoring and notification of coincident peak trends, which provide immediate updates for coincident peak events such as proximity warnings and peak warnings. So again, early prediction of these coincident peak demand events is the key to both reducing your electricity costs and reducing the impact on your business operations. So this is just a closer look of at the daily report that you receive with this service, and a breakdown of the report. Along the top, what we see again is our daily commentary, which tells you your current coincident peak day for the month, prediction for the CPD for the current month, a forecast for potential for setting a new CPD this day, and a prediction for the balance of the week and the balance of the month. All of that information is provided in this commentary box. Beside that, you'll see a graph showing the forecasted load throughout the day, as well as the current coincident peak event. In the middle, what we see is a prediction for the entire month, and the red line indicates the current day. And as you can see this month here, the predicted peak event was right around the middle of the month. And then on the bottom, we see our historical trends. So on the left, it's looking at over the last 14 years, which day did the peak event occur on? And on the right, in which hour of the day did the coincident peak occur? So this is the daily report that you receive Monday through Friday. Next, we see the real-time monitoring and notification. So this is a series of email that you would receive during a peak event or a potential peak event. So in this first email, our daily report had indicated that January 14th would likely be the peak event for the month. This email was sent out at 5:16 p.m. saying that the notified maximum demand had reached 99%. It also provides more information, so the demand is expected to continue increasing, and the peak is supposed to be around 1800, where we believe that's going to be set. So that was our first email sent out. The next one was sent out at 5:24, and it's saying that the notified maximum demand has reached 99.5% of the current CPD. And again, it has our prediction for when we believe that peak is going to occur. And also a notification, we'll send out more updates as required. The next email was sent out at 5:38, and the notified maximum demand has matched the current coincident peak demand. And if it holds, it may set the new peak for the month. Again, the expected peak is around 1800, and further updates will be sent out as required. And then finally, this email was sent out at 7:33, and it's telling us that the notified maximum demand is now below 98%. It is decreasing, and we've likely set a new coincident peak demand event this evening. So with these notifications, it's stepping you through the event, ensuring you have the information you need to make your decisions of when to generate or shed during those periods to avoid the peak demands. But does it really work? So on average with our service, there are 5 days per month considered to be potential CPD days for each CPD event. So we recommend clients generate or shed for about 3 hours during these periods. This equals 180 hours per year, or 2% of the time. We've correctly identified 41 of the last 45 CPD events. The ones that were missed were considered rare occurrences, where the event actually happened earlier in the day than normal. So as opposed to when people were coming home from work, it occurred early in the morning when people were getting up and getting ready for work. So if you were a customer of ours for the last 4 years, and again, you were able to shed just 1 megawatt during those 41 months, there's a potential of saving over $450,000 in that period of time. So this is ROI for a customer that we had here in Alberta. So we had a new customer sign up for the service at the beginning of September in 2017. The CPD event occurred September 7th that month at 5:15 p.m. and they were able to shed approximately 10 megawatts of load during that peak. So with this customer, they actually realized ROI in the first week of being a customer. A second profile, this customer had 3 sites that were actively pursuing CPD, and they had a 23 megawatt load at peak, but each site had operational dependencies, so they didn't have the ability to just flip a switch and go from 23 to 0. So that was important in the decision making for their operations team prior to reducing their load. After 6 months of the service, proof of concept was presented to their executive team, and even with their operational dependencies, they were able to save $321,855 in the first 6 months of utilizing our service. So I think we're going to pause here and see if there are any questions.
There are no questions right now.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to push on. And next I'm going to be talking about the PowerTracker service offered by Rodan. So there are many challenges companies are facing when managing their multi-site power portfolio. One of them is understanding the ever-changing energy market. And as Jason talked about early in the presentation, that's really our expertise, is understanding the changes as well as being part of the change. Managing contracts and bill verification for multiple sites, finding potential cost savings to drive down operational expenses, identifying possible salvage sites, and detecting power factor issues. So these are some of the things that Rodan can help with our PowerTracker service. So the PowerTracker management system allows for tracking, auditing, risk management, and bill verification for your entire site portfolio. It's a combination of our PowerTracker software with our expert energy analyst, and it opens up new cost savings discoveries along with an automation of your entire site portfolio. So there are 2 ways to take advantage of Rodan's PowerTracker service. The first one is a cost savings opportunity, which is offered in shared savings. So for this stream, we're looking at locating sites for buy down or salvage and contract reduction, detecting and managing power factor issues and implementing changes when required, verifying billing and meter data to ensure correct charges. So with this service, there are no upfront costs, and Rodan takes a portion of the realized savings for 1 year. So if Rodan's unable to find any cost savings opportunities, there is no fee for the service. So it really is a no risk, high reward service that we're offering. The other stream is risk management opportunities, and this is offered through a subscription based on which services you're interested in. And in this stream, we're looking at cost center verification and updates to ensure correct allocations, managing grid connections from application through energization, managing acquisition and disposition of power sites and contracts. So put Rodan's team of energy analysts to work for you. And again, these monthly subscriptions are based on which services are required. So some of the benefits of a quick PowerTracker engagement: the sooner you start a PowerTracker bill verification process, the more operational expense you'll save. So on the left-hand side here, it's a snapshot of some charges as well as potential overpay on contracts. And over the course of a year, you can see that the overage total is fairly significant. If we look at the same numbers over on this side, if they had engaged in PowerTracker and were able to identify and reduce those overpayments on contracts, they can significantly reduce that overall charges just by having early engagement. So the earlier you go through the verification, find the cost savings opportunities, the more benefit it is for your company and your energy portfolio. So a couple things to keep in mind: companies can't recover contract charges at a later, higher contract charges at a later date. So if you are stuck paying too much for your contracts, that's money that you won't be able to get back. Quick PowerTracker engagement immediately reduce your operational costs, and the sooner you optimize your billing with PowerTracker, the more money you'll save on your energy spend. So what are some of the other options for bill verification? In speaking with a lot of customers, unfortunately, their approach is to do nothing. And if that's the case, they're not identifying the cost savings opportunities, and this money, the overages, they're never going to realize those and save that money. Most companies are always looking for opportunities to drive down their operational costs. However, verifying energy bills can be a long process. So when you start talking about tens, hundreds, even thousands of individual sites, the process can be tedious and overwhelming. And actually knowing all of the potential avenues for identifying these cost savings requires some expertise. So the impact of doing nothing, you're leaving money on the table by not identifying past billing errors, paying unnecessary higher contract rates, and not driving cost savings and operational efficiencies within your operations. Another option for bill verification is using internal resources. As soon as you have somebody internally working on this, there is a direct expense to the company. So on the left-hand side here, it shows an employee, and depending on how much time they're spending going through verifying the bills and looking for these cost savings opportunity, there is a direct cost to the company in salary and time. Another thing, it could be pulling that person away from working on other higher value tasks, and they may not have the ability to identify all of the issues and opportunities that are there for cost savings. So with a Rodan engagement, this is a graph showing their potential monthly savings and the shared savings, the portion that Rodan would be getting for the first 12 months. So with this, there are no additional expenses for the company. We're only taking a portion of realized savings. It allows employees time to focus on higher value tasks. And the PowerTracker tool is built to identify multiple streams of cost savings available. So it's really built around really optimizing and ensuring that your portfolio is fully efficient. So we have a customer profile here. This was a large company we'd worked with. They had over 500 sites and facilities in Alberta. With this customer, we were able to find $1.3 million billing error and $1.5 million in ongoing annual savings. So that was after salvage sites, reducing contracts. So those were ongoing savings that they were able to realize from that date moving forward. So in summary, the advantages of PowerTracker: it's a unique two-part service providing both our PowerTracker database and an energy analyst. It's customized streams, so you would pick and use only what's necessary and what you need. It eliminates the need for multiple contractors. It provides billing certainty, audible savings, and it's easy to track. And it mitigates risks during acquisition and divestitures of sites. So put Rodan's team of experienced analysts to work for you today.